I have been psoatically obsessed for 15 years, and I offer a lot of different workshops, but it always comes back to the psoas. The psoas major muscle is the most important muscle in the body for three reasons. I'll tell you about them. And it's amazing to me that, honestly, 15 years later, I am still just thinking always in terms of helping people through a better use of this essential muscle. The psoas is the most important muscle in the body for three reasons. Because the muscle is standing, it's the muscle that helps us stand upright. It's the muscle of walking. Every successful step we take is initiated through the psoas major. And it's the muscle of pain and trauma. And that's where it gets really esoteric and fascinating and interesting, because I would say that the body, we live in a really bizarre, interesting structure, and that structure both physical and emotional. And the emotional nature of this structure is that we are bombarded with stimulus all day, every day, and we can handle some of that stimulus well. Some people are more sensitive than others and cannot handle stimulus as well. And then sometimes there is just stimulus that we cannot handle. And sometimes that stimulus that we can't handle is negative, right? It can be positive, but most often it's negative. And what happens when the body is confronted with emotional stimulus, physical stimulus, like a car accident or fall downstairs, or a combination of physical and emotional stimulus, you get mugged, something like that, like something happens, you get hit by something, something happens, and the body is not able to handle that stimulus in that moment. And the way the body deals with that is, I believe, it stores that energy in the psoas muscle. That's nonsense in a lot of ways. One of my favorite teachers ever told me that is nonsense, right? Emotions don't live in muscles. Muscles move the body. So in my take, the psoas really does hold on to energy that the body is not ready to let go of. And I believe our body is always interested in letting go of unprocessed energy or trauma. And we have to create the environment for the body to do that. And we do that, from my perspective, with psoas release work, psoas release exercises. That's what this workshop I'm doing is about. I do this workshop couple of times a year. I do it live all over the world when the world gets back to traveling, which I hope is sometime soon. And I'm going to very simply show you how your psoas either works for you or doesn't. And it is as simple as this. So I started by saying the psoas holds you upright. There are only three muscles connect the upper and lower body: psoas major, piriformis, iliac, gluteus maximus. Where'd that come from? And these three muscles, piriformis and gluteus maximus at the back, psoas at the front, these three muscles are essentially holding the spine upright with the head on top of the spine, and the hamstrings and gluteus maximus at the back pull the pelvis to level, and the psoas helps maintain that level. And when we stand well, we use the psoas well, and we can employ it all through our life. When we stand well, we're healing ourselves. We're using the psoas, and just the nature of standing well, to me, is a healing action, because it aligns the psoas well and it lets it start to do its thing. So I'm going to just stand up very quickly and show you. Move the toys. All right. Oh, perfect. All right. So you ready? This is what I call old you. This is how I think you stand. We're not looking at it too much, but and this is pretty subtle, right? I think this is leaning backwards. I can show you more. That's what I think people do in general. Thighs forward, upper body backwards. They don't do it that much. They do it in a subtle way. When you stand this way, because of the position of the pelvis, legs, and spine, you're not using your psoas. And a simple action, I kid you not, of doing that employs your psoas. Now, you might think my head is a little forward, because it is, but I can probably pull it back. But I am straight up and down here. If I go slightly back, I move into that, parentheses kind of curve, right? But the main thing is I don't use my psoas. And when I go back and put the legs back under the hips, I employ the psoas. I allow the psoas to align, engage, move me, stabilize me, support the spine. The work I do is teaching people, I do a lot of different work, teaching people to walk and exercise, but in terms of psoas release and psoas and getting rid of trauma, it's release work, which is doing very little to accomplish a lot. That's like my main take. You lay around doing nothing and you can gain an incredible amount of benefits. But in truth, you could also do it just by standing better and just by walking better. And I'm not saying that you don't walk well or don't stand well, but I am saying that. I don't think people use their body best. And when you start using your body better, that's healing. The body is a self-healing machine. Stand well in the way I showed you. Walk in a way I haven't showed you yet, but you can take one of my walking workshops. Stand well and walk well, and you start to heal the body because the body wants to be aligned well, engaged well, and used well. And to me, it's all about the psoas. If you don't use the psoas in standing, walking, and even sleeping, which is a whole nother thing, it's very, very hard to get the most out of the body. And then, just to finish, if you buy what I'm saying, which again is a little esoteric, that unprocessed energy, trauma of all different kinds that lives in the body, it lives in your psoas, and you have to create an environment to let it go. And you can do that at any time. What's amazing is the body doesn't let go until it's ready, which is fascinating and a whole nother video, but we can heal and we can improve the way we stand and the way we walk. With the exception of nerve damage, which some people have, we can do so many amazing things to the body.